I'm done feeling left out, bro. Every Sunday, every Monday, almost every goddamn day, the bros on the group chat talking about some NFL, and I cannot relate. What did they just put in the group chat just now? The Bengals are trading for Joe Flacco per me and Tom Pelissero. Niggas think Flacci's saving them. GG's. That's what Wayne said. And I don't even know what the they're talking about. What does that even mean? Bad trade? Give me the NBA equivalent to what the that was. Football, not me? Bro, it's because I don't know lore, bro. I feel like it's because I don't know lore. If I know lore, I know stay lines, and I get a favorite team or a favorite player, I'm gonna be him. I want to be able to participate in Sunday football with the bros drinking beers in a barbecue game. That's a vibe. What happens when all the bros want to come over and watch some football and drink some beers? What am I gonna do? Pick a team and learn them. Bro, my running back snapped his leg in half and was laughing afterwards. What team I'm supposed to like? The Bills. I'm not around with the Bills, bro. Just cause Jada from Buffalo, bro. Chat, be honest. Judging my personality and knowing what I like and the type of players and people I like and superheroes and anime I like, who do you think my favorite team and favorite player would be? Ravens. That's what I'm thinking, bro. Every time I see the Ravens play, I want the Ravens to win. Fuck the Ravens. Why? Go Patriots. See, that's one team I know. I don't see a reality. I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna tell you teams just because they kind of ugly to me. I'm not gonna be a Patriots fan, gang. Like, the aura of the Patriots isn't me, gang. I'm sorry, Patriots fans. Don't put a dick in my ass for that. It's just not, bro. And I don't even really know too much about them. I kind of do. But that's not my vibe. I ain't gonna make you a Seahawks fan. We should start from the 2000s, gang. Because that's where the Olstons, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, gang. That's where all the peak was, bro. Mike Vick, bro. I feel like we should watch them by Olstons, bro. We should do it by Olstons.
The 2000 NFL season opened with the league in transition. The 90s icons were gone.
What do you mean the league's in transition? There was about the league.
Or fading. John Elway had retired.
Name some 90s icons. They said the 90s icons were fading on some McQueen.
Barry Sanders got sick of
Barry Sanders. Okay, I don't know anything about Barry Sanders, but I hear his name a lot.
The Lions, and the Cowboys dynasty was collapsing as their stars aged out. The greatest show on turf had dazzled the year before, but as the millennium turned, aside from Peyton Manning, it wasn't clear who the NFL's next great star or team was supposed to be. This was the year where the saying, defense wins championships, really was true. Okay. The Baltimore Ravens in particular went 5 straight games midseason without scoring a single offensive touchdown.
Huh? Wait, how? Wait, what?
In particular went 5 straight games midseason without scoring a single offensive touchdown and still finished 12-4. Quarterback was irrelevant. Trent Dilfer was really just asked to maintain a pulse and exist while Ray Lewis and company did the heavy lifting. They allowed only 165 points all season, or only 10.3 points per game, an NFL record for a 16-game schedule. The Titans, who had come a yard short of a title the year before, were out for revenge and finished 13-3. In the AFC West, the Raiders were back from the dead with Rich Gannon slinging the ball and John Gruden at the helm as one of the game's best offensive minds. Even the Dolphins were relevant, leaning on a gritty defense and Jay Fiedler doing just enough to not sink the team. Over in the NFC,
You feel me, Dolphins? Were the Dolphins comp? That defense was beautiful.
Defense and Jay Fiedler doing just enough to not sink the team. Over in the NFC, Marshall Faulk won MVP. The Vikings started 7-0 behind Dante Culpepper's breakout and Randy Moss catching touchdown bombs on a routine basis. But the wheels fell off in December. The Bucs were menacing on defense. The Saints shocked.
Why did the wheels fall off in December?
Everyone by going 10-6, winning their first ever playoff game. And then there were the Giants, quietly going 12-4 behind a revived Kerry Collins, a bruising run game, and a nasty front seven. In the playoffs, the Ravens plowed through Denver, Tennessee, and finally the Raiders in the AFC title game, roughing up Rich Gannon early and beating Oakland into submission.
16-3?
The NFC Championship was something else entirely, a 41-0 demolition job.
Jesus Christ! What happened there?
The Giants embarrassed the Vikings in one of the strangest, most lopsided games ever played that deep into January. And Super Bowl 35 was also a massacre. One of those those awful.
Wait, hold on, let me see. Did the Giants win?
Massacre. One of those awful games like Super Bowl 48. The Giants' offense did nothing. Their lone touchdown came on a kick return, immediately followed by a Baltimore kick return touchdown of their own. The Ravens dominated 34-7 in a game that looked over by the third quarter. The Giants fell off. Ray Lewis won Super Bowl MVP. The Ravens proved apparently didn't need a quarterback, just arguably the greatest defense of all time and
Yo, hold on, y'all don't know about this. This was that gang. I remember my mama and my pops having these out sometimes, bro. Y'all know nothing about this. You could zoom with that bitch a little bit. The little slider will go. Y'all know nothing about that shit. Y'all wasn't born for these, gang. Y'all wasn't here with camcorders. Y'all iPad kids, bro. Y'all was born with a fat-ass iPhone Max Plus in your hand, gang.
This defensive all.
You don't know what a CD player even looked like, bro. A DVD player. You don't know what it felt like when Blu-ray first dropped. They had that bitch on PS3, gang. You wasn't there, bro.
All time and the kicker. But the 2001 NFL season began with a sense of anticipation. The St. Louis Rams, still boasting the greatest show on, began with a sense of anticipation. The St. Louis Rams, still boasting the greatest show on turf, were expected to dominate. While the league's unusual 31-team format, introduced in 1999, was entering its final year before full realignment. However, the events of September 11th cast a shadow over the season. The NFL paused for a week, and when play resumed, football became a symbol of unity and resilience. The league's return was marked by patriotic displays, with players and fans honoring first responders and victims alike. But the Rams lived up to expectations, finishing 14-2 with Kurt Warner leading the league in passing yards and earning MVP honors. Marshall Faulk continued to be a dual threat, securing the Offensive Player of the Year award. In the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers emerged.
Wait, what position he played? That he won Offensive Player of the Year?
In the league in passing yards and earning MVP honors. Marshall Faulk continued to be a dual threat, securing the Offensive Player of the Year award. In the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers emerged as a powerhouse, finishing 13-3 with a dominant defense.
Damn!
Yet the most compelling story unfolded in New England. After starting quarterback Drew Bledsoe suffered a serious injury in Week 2, unheralded backup Tom Brady stepped in.
Wait, he was a backup? Is this when a GOAT gets born? 6th round? Yo, how'd he get so him? Yo, that's inspirational, bro. Yo, I didn't even know that.
Coach Bill Belichick's guidance, Brady led the Patriots to an 11-5 record, showcasing poise and efficiency.
Yo, were they shocked at? Like, was the world like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what was the reaction to that shit?
But the playoffs brought drama and controversy.
They in the fucking snow, gang.
In the AFC divisional round, the Patriots faced the Oakland Raiders in a snowstorm in Foxborough.
Jesus Christ.
With 2 minutes remaining and
is that not crazy?
By 3, Brady appeared to fumble after a hit by Charles Woodson. However, officials invoked the obscure tuck rule, ruling it an incomplete pass. The Patriots retained possession, tied the...
How do people feel about that? Was that a valid call?
Tuck rule, ruling it an incomplete pass.
And what is that tuck rule? I still don't know. Yo, what are the most controversial calls of all time? While you're in the throwing motion, basically?
However, officials invoked the obscure tuck rule.
Wait, I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, bro. It looked like he was going to, then he thought about it. Wait, hold on.
Hit by Charles Woodson.
Hold on.
However, officials invoked the obscure tuck rule, ruling it an incomplete pass. The Patriots retained possession, tied the game with a field goal, and then won it in overtime. This game, later dubbed the tuck rule game, became a pivotal moment in NFL history. In the NFC, the Rams continued their dominance, while the Chicago Bears surprised many by finishing 13-3 under Coach of the Year Dick Geronimo.
That's TK's favorite team.
And the playoffs culminated in Super Bowl 36, where the underdog Patriots faced the Rams. Employing a strategic game plan, the Patriots defense stifled the Rams' high-powered offense.
Holy shit.
With the game tied in the final minutes, Brady orchestrated a drive that set up Adam Vinatieri's game-winning 48-yard field goal as time expired. The Patriots secured their first
Who's the MVP of that game, chat?
Super Bowl title with a 20-17 victory.
Bro, this was the first year Tom Brady. Yo, that's crazy.
This triumph marked the beginning of a dynasty, with Brady and Belichick leading the team to multiple championships in the following years. The tuck rule controversy spurred debates about officiating and was eventually abolished in 2013. The Rams, despite their talent, broke down after this season.
Damn!
With Warner falling victim to injury and poor performance. The 2001 season signaled a new era in the NFL. But the 2002 season marked the NFL's long overdue leap into symmetry. The league officially expanded to 32 teams with the arrival of the Houston Texans, prompting a full realignment into 8 4-team divisions. It was a clean slate, and every division now had a proper rival setup. And
that's hard. Yo, chat, what city or state needs a team right now in the NBA, bro? Seattle? Bro, I feel like Vegas needs some shit. Vegas is such a popular fucking city game. Germany. All right, bro.
Playoff format was updated to reflect the new structure. But while the league map got organized, the season itself descended into disorder. There were only 2 or 3 really good teams. Other than that, mostly parity and surprise contenders rising out of nowhere.
Yo, that's hard, bro.
Other than that,
bro, I love team spirit shit like this, bro. Do shit like this still happen aside from like football? I like shit like this, bro.
Mostly parity and surprise contenders rising out of nowhere. It felt like every team had flaws, and the Super Bowl matchup was going to be
like this in football?
Somewhat random. But let's start in the NFC South, a brand new division where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers under
Tampa, Florida, haha. Bucks, nigga.
New head coach John Gruden combined a Hall of Fame defensive core with an offensive genius. Gruden had been traded from the Raiders to the Bucks in one of the weirdest coach for pick swaps ever, and he would make it personal.
Pick swaps.
The Bucks defense was hell on wheels. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, who won Defensive Player of the Year, Rondé Barber, and John Lynch. On offense, Brad Johnson wasn't good, but he was good enough, which was all they needed. Tampa finished 12-4 and won the South handily. Over in the AFC, Rich Gannon was playing the best football of his life for the Raiders. He threw for nearly 4,700 yards on his way to the MVP award. And the Raiders. He threw for nearly 4,700 yards on his way to the MVP award. And the Raiders were one of the few offenses that looked like it had a plan. They earned the #1 seed and looked poised for a long run, until they saw what was waiting at the end. The rest of the league was wild. The Eagles took the 1 seed in the NFC. The Jets started 1-3.
Yo, how bad was this era for the Jets? Because my father was a Jets fan. He had the Jets football. Jets, Jets. Every fucking week. But he'd always be like depressed though, bro. I never saw him happy. I never saw him happy watching football, bro. That nigga always be tight.
Vinny Testaverde and then rode Chad Pennington to a division title. The Falcons made the playoff.
My dad is a Jets fan, a Mets fan, and a Knicks fan, gang. Knicks, Jets, Mets. Yo, Jesus. Why is it Jesus? That's fake. Is that crazy?
Behind a 22-year-old Michael Vick, who lit up Lambeau Field and handed the Packers their first ever home playoff loss. The Giants blew a massive lead in the wild card round against the 49ers in one of the craziest comebacks in postseason history. And the Steelers were patching the Niners in playoff loss. The Giants blew a massive lead in the wild card round
how big was the lead?
49ers in one of the craziest comebacks in postseason history. And the Steelers were patching together quarterback with Cordell Stewart and Tommy Maddox. Sound familiar? But in the end, it came down to Gruden versus his old team. Super Bowl 37 was expected to be close. The Raiders were actually favored. But Gruden had basically installed the Raiders offense in Oakland and still knew all of their calls. Tampa's defense picked off Rich Gannon 5 times.
Wait, how did the Patriots do this year?
Returning 3 of them for touchdowns in a 48-21 beatdown.
Damn.
The Bucks finally got their ring, and their defense was immortalized.
Damn.
Gruden got revenge. And
Wait, was this the first year the Tampa Bay was in this bitch? And they won, my nigga? Or am I tripping? Or am I retarded?
Best way possible. And the Raiders completely imploded. Becoming the incompetent franchise we've been used to for 2 decades. 2002 was the year the league realigned, and everything orderly got thrown out the window. But in 2003,
get rid of that Riri emo. I don't like it.
Separate themselves. The league was entering its golden age of quarterback play, but it was also the year when defense and special...
I ain't gonna lie. You think if I was into football back then, I would have became a golden age quarterback? I would have become a quarterback in the golden age. Type shit. I think I would have been him.
Special teams slammed the door shut more often than not. It was a season full of cardiac finishes and last-second kicks. And at the center of it all, the Patriots, who had missed the playoffs in 2002, were back.
That's tough.
And this time, for good. But let's start with the co-MVPs.
Why did they miss the playoffs last year? Why did they fucking win and then miss the playoffs and now they're back on timing? Why is that?
Peyton Manning and Steve McNair shared the award. Manning threw for over 4,200 yards and led one of the most explosive offenses in the league. McNair, battling through
injuries,
gutted out the pain and carried the Titans to 12 wins.
Damn.
Jamal Lewis carried the Ravens offense, rushing for over 2,000 yards. In Kansas City, Priest Holmes scored 27 total touchdowns and looked like the new version of Emmitt Smith. The Chiefs started 9-0, but their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. In Green Bay, Brett Favre dealt with the passing of his father, then delivered one of the most emotional performances ever. throwing 4 first-half touchdowns on Monday Night Football against the Raiders.
See, that's some movie shit. That's some movie shit, gang. That's like a bro.
Game where he quite literally played like a man possessed. Meanwhile, the Panthers were quietly building something terrifying in Carolina. They won 7 games by 3 points or less and became appropriately nicknamed the Cardiac Cats. Jake Delhomme had taken over for Rodney Peete mid-game in Week 1 and never looked back. Steven Davis and a young Steve Smith Sr. carried the offense, and their defense, led by Chris Jenkins, was an above-average unit. In the AFC, the Patriots were back with a vengeance. After going 9-7 in 2002, they began the season 2-2, but did not lose again. Tom Brady earned some MVP votes for the first time. Their defense was the best in the league, and Adam Vinatieri was a sniper. The playoffs gave us thrillers. The Colts dropped 41 on the Broncos. The Titans edged the Ravens in a barn burner. The Panthers beat the Rams in double overtime on a walk-off 69-yard Steve Smith touchdown. And the AFC title game was a Brady Manning showdown. New England 24, Indy 14. Manning threw 4 picks and was schooled by Belichick's defense. 24, Indy 14. Manning threw 4 picks and was schooled by Belichick's defense. And Super Bowl 38 was Patriots-Panthers. A gritty defensive first half turned...
Chat, who's your favorite quarterback of all time? Aaron Rodgers. Michael Bishop. What the fuck am I? Who the fuck is... Chat, who's Michael Bishop? Drew Brees. Russell Wilson. Is Russell Wilson him? Like, is that good picks? I don't know why I say ew when I think of Russell Wilson. Even though he's probably good, but like, I don't know, bruh. That's interesting.
Into an Super Bowl 38 was Patriots-Panthers.
He asked now?
Defensive first half turned into an all-time fourth quarter. They combined for 37 points in the final 15 minutes. Vinatieri, of course, ended it with a game winner from 41 yards out with 4 seconds left. To make it Patriots 32, Panthers 29. The Patriots were officially building a dynasty. Jake Delhomme became a household name, and the Brady-Manning rivalry was just beginning.
Oh my God!
And by 2004, the NFL had fully embraced the quarterback era. The days of
quarterback era,
run it 40 times a game football weren't necessarily gone.
Before QBs, what position had the most clout? Before 2004, I mean, before like 2003 or 2, what position was like, you're him, like, you know what I'm saying? Running back? That's what I always thought growing up, bro. That's what I always thought, bro.
They were on the way out. Passing stats exploded. Fantasy football became a bigger part of the culture, and every Sunday was a stage for elite quarterbacks to shred. But amid all the aerial fireworks, there was still one team that refused to play by the rules.
Receiver.
But the MVP race was no race at all. Peyton Manning threw 49 touchdowns, breaking Dan Marino's long-standing record.
Holy
The Colts offense became a well-oiled machine thanks to precision passing and Peyton Manning's pre-snap genius. Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, and Brandon Stokely all had over 1,000 yards and 10 scores. In Philadelphia, after 3 straight NFC Championship losses, Donovan McNabb finally got the superstar receiver to put them over the top. Terrell Owens, as polarizing as he was...
Was he nice? Was this nigga nice? Was his little square butt? This nigga nice? Why is TK spamming LMAO? Top 5 wide receiver? He's one of the best? Okay, bet. Let me know ball on some Eagle shit. What is TK laughing at? I'm confused as to why the fuck you're laughing, retard. Aren't you a Bears fan? Hold on. I don't know if the Bears are doing good or not. Aren't you a fucking Bears fan? What are you? What's their record? What's their record? Fuck, I don't know shit about the fucking Bears, bro. 2-2? You a Dolphins fan? I'm not a fan of nothing yet. I'm gonna support my state always, but like, you know what I'm saying? You're not from fucking Chicago, so I could pick a team I like. Might fuck around and be a Ravens fan or something. What the Ravens looking like? Huh? What the Ravens looking like, huh, boys? Ugh. Wait. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I'm from Florida for real, so like, you feel me? What's up? How the okay. Okay, how the Bucks looking, nigga? How the fucking Bucks looking, nigga? Yeah, the fucking Bucks. Wait, does Connecticut have a team? Fuck no. Oh, so you gotta be an orphan, bro. You gotta be an orphan. You from Connecticut, bro. Nigga, we got insurance, bro. Oh, the Patriots technically. New England, I guess. No, you're a Patriots fan. Yo, TK, you a Patriots fan, gang. You a Patriots fan.
Receiver to put them over the top. Terrell Owens, as polarizing as he was, changed everything. McNabb set career highs across the board. T.O. was electric, dancing his way into the end zone week after week. The Eagles stormed to 13 wins and looked like a team built to win it all.
13 wins.
But the scariest team in the league was not making the flashy headlines. The New England Patriots, fresh off a Super Bowl win in 2003, didn't skip a beat. Newcomer Corey Dillon gave them a true power run game, finishing with 1,635 yards. Tom Brady wasn't throwing for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns just yet, but he didn't need to. His pocket presence, decision-making, and killer instinct were all on display. And the defense, led by Richard Seymour, Teddy Bruschi, and Rodney Harrison, was as disciplined as ever. Over in Pittsburgh, a rookie named Ben Roethlisberger took over after Tommy Maddox got hurt. And not only did Big Ben keep the Steelers afloat, Pittsburgh finished 15-1, the best record in the league.
Holy shit.
With Roethlisberger going 13-0 as a starter. And their defense was vintage Steelers, allowing the fewest points in the entire league.
Jesus
and the playoffs
Christ.
didn't disappoint. The Patriots shut down Peyton again, holding the record-setting Colts to only 3 points in the AFC division.
Yo, what is happening? Yo, what?
It's shut down Peyton again, holding the record-setting Colts to only 3 points in the AFC divisional round.
Yo, do these niggas own fucking Peyton, bro?
Eagles rolled through the NFC, and in the AFC title game, the Pats handed Big Ben his first loss in a 41-27 beatdown. Super Bowl 30. Pats handed Big Ben his first loss in a 41-27 beatdown.
Oh my God.
Super Bowl 39 had drama. Terrell Owens, for all of his flaws, proved his heart, playing on a broken leg and catching 9 passes for 122 yards.
On a broken leg?
Was tied in the fourth quarter, but Brady stayed calm. And Deion Branch put on a clinic with 11 catches for 133 yards, earning Super Bowl MVP. And Vinatieri, of course, sealed it late. The Patriots were obviously the team of the century to this point.
Dang, that's crazy.
4 seasons.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, bro.
The Eagles finally reached
fucking
the
Warriors ass
but
niggas.
tumbled down soon after, as T.O. feuded with
they can't.
The NFL became pass happy and flashy in 2004.
But it's not like the Warriors because it's
the
like,
cold-blooded Pats still ran the league.
Nah.
But in 2005, the league temporarily
was niggas fucking with it? Did the Patriots have a lot of haters, bro?
Reverted back to its old ways. Passing dipped, games got a little uglier, and at the heart of it all was one very large man on a mission. Let's start with the big picture. Peyton Manning had just come off his record-breaking 2004, but in 2005, the Colts operated in a much more balanced fashion. They started 13-0, beat the hell out of teams, and looked like the clear Super Bowl favorite. But Tony Dungy's team still hadn't gotten over that postseason hump. In New England, the Patriots were battered, injuries mounted, and they still won the AFC East, but had cracks in their armor.
Injured as fuck.
In Cincinnati, Carson Palmer and Chad Johnson were turning the Bengals into must-see TV. Palmer threw 32
Wait.
touchdowns, and the Bengals
got himself a little snow buddy game.
went 11-5. In the NFC, the Eagles fell apart as T.O. McNabb and the entire organization.
How good was Ocho, chat?
The Seahawks became a juggernaut. Sean Alexander ran for almost 1,900 yards, scored 27 touchdowns, and won MVP in one of the best running back campaigns of all time. Matt Hasselbeck played the cleanest football of his career, and their offensive line, anchored by Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson, was bullying people. The Seahawks earned the top seed in the NFC at 13-3, but the Steelers went about the season a little differently. They barely made the playoffs, finishing 11-5 and getting in as the number 6 seed. Roethlisberger missed time with knee issues. The offense was solid, but the defense was still an elite unit, and they had a clear mission to get Jerome Bettis to the Super Bowl in his hometown of Detroit. And so the run began. They beat the Bengals in the wild card after Carson Palmer tore his ACL on his first pass attempt. Then they beat the 14-2 Colts in Indy in a game that included Ben Roethlisberger's game-saving ankle tackle after a near-fatal Bettis goal line fumble, capped off by the Mike Vanderjagt shank. After that, they went to Denver and crushed Jake Plummer's Broncos in the AFC Championship. Over in the NFC Championship, the Seahawks smoked Carolina, so we got Pittsburgh-Seattle in Super Bowl 40. which was a weird flag-heavy game where the referees became part of the story. Big Ben scored a questionable touchdown, and Hasselbeck
the niggas fuck with this Super Bowl, bro.
Beck got flagged for a textbook tackle, and the Seahawks never found rhythm. But the Steelers hit the plays when they needed them.
No.
Antoine Randall threw a touchdown to Hines Ward on a reverse pass and closed it out. Ward won MVP, and Bettis finally held the Ward on a reverse pass and closed it out. Ward won MVP, and Bettis
Yo, Wayne, you's a bitch. The whole ass Seahawks, nigga. Yo, Wayne. Like, you wasn't even born. You wasn't even born. Never mind. You didn't even know what the fuck was going on. Oh, my God. You genuinely wasn't even born. Holy shit.
Finally held the Lombardi. And
you're probably like 1 year old or something.
The Steelers became the first 6 seed to win it all. Bettis retired on the podium, and the officiating controversy became a permanent part of Super Bowl lore. But let's move on to 2006. At this point, Peyton Manning was becoming ridiculed for his annual monster regular seasons, followed by
That's what I'm thinking. Yo, this nigga go crazy regular season, and then you get dropped off, nigga. What's happening?
A generational quarterback.
He gonna tee up?
Who couldn't get over the hump. He had the stats, 2 MVPs, and Hall of Fame trajectory, but the ring was still missing.
You gonna get that shit, right?
And every year seemed to end with a collapse. But 2006 presented the perfect chance to put that narrative to rest. As for the rest of the league, the NFC got shuffled a bit, and a man named Devin Hester became the best kick returner the world had ever seen. The Chargers were arguably the most complete team in football, however. They went 14-2, had LaDainian Tomlinson in full-on God mode, rushing for 1,800 yards and scoring a new record 31 touchdowns on his way.
God damn, this nigga was nice like that, Shaq?
To the MVP.
God damn!
Philip Rivers took over for Drew Brees and excelled. But as we know with the Chargers, the postseason was a different story. In New Orleans, Drew Brees arrived fresh off shoulder surgery and transformed the Saints overnight. With Sean Payton calling the shots and rookie Reggie Bush electrifying the dome, the Saints became the heart of a post-Katrina city still putting itself back together. They finished 10-6, won the NFC South, and city still putting itself back together.
Mind you, Janix left his dog flooding in his house and fled to Texas right before this chat. After Katrina, bro.
The dome. The Saints became the heart of a post-Katrina city still putting itself back together. They finished 10-6, won the NFC South, and reached their first ever NFC championship. But the NFC belonged to Chicago. Behind a monster...
Oh, shit! Wait, TK! Oh, what the fuck? Wait, you own Janix? Oh, hell no! Oh, shit!
Defense, a breakout season from Hester and Rex Grossman, the Bears finished 13-3.
Hold on, I'm gonna check the group chat. What that was, 2006? Damn, TK, you own Janix in 2006. Bum ass nigga. Laughing emoji.
Their Urlacher-led defense was top shelf. Hester was housing a kick every few weeks.
It's been 20 years. Old shit. Bro, chill out, bro.
But winning it all with Rex Grossman under center was going to be no easy feat. Back in the AFC, the Colts started hot, but dropped 4 of their last 7 games. As their defense in the AFC, the Colts started hot, but dropped 4 of their last 7 games.
Bro.
As their defense was a problem. But once the playoffs hit, something clicked.
Yeah.
They beat the Chiefs, outlasted the Ravens, and then finally got another shot at the Patriots.
Woo! Come on, gang! You ain't, come on! You ain't coming down. Come on, bro. This is the 3rd time? You got this, gang. You got this. You got this one. You got this one, boy. You gonna get this one, boy. You ain't gonna be a fraud no more.
The AFC Championship game became an instant classic. The Patriots went up 21-3, and it looked like the same old story.
Oh,
but Peyton stayed poised.
Oh my God! At this point, if there was Twitter back then, yo, at this point right here, bro, yo, Twitter was probably on fucking fire, nigga. Twitter was the memes on this nigga would be crazy.
And led 5 second-half touchdown drives. Joseph Adai punched in the go-ahead touchdown with a minute left. Final score 38-34 Colts.
Oh shit!
Peyton had finally slayed the dragon. And Super
Bowl
41 was quite the contrast of styles. Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, the first time that had ever happened in Super Bowl history. But that was the highlight of the game for Chicago. Manning didn't light it up, but he managed the rain-soaked game to perfection. The Colts established the run, forced turnovers, and the Bears unraveled. Colts 29, Bears.
Oh
17.
shit! Yo, TK, wait, hold on. You got old game. Hold on, let me text the group chat. Wait, why TK in the group chat said LMAO and Janice goes, "What you old niggas talking about?" Oh, TK, you right here. I ain't gonna lie. You better put his deal, butt gang.
Tony Dungy became the first black head coach to win a Super Bowl. Devin Hester became a legend.
W
despite the
accomplishment.
loss, and Peyton finally silenced the critics and got the one thing missing on his resume. But in the background, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were preparing to
GG, they doing fucking chemistry on this bitch. They doing science on the motherfucking plate. What the fuck?
Write the history books in 2007. After Spygate hit in Week 1, the Patriots took it personally and decided to humiliate the rest of the NFL. In the offseason, the Patriots had added Randy Moss, who had spent the last 2 years buried in Oakland, and Wes Welker, a quietly ascending slot receiver imported from Miami. That duo, with Brady at the helm, became unstoppable. Brady threw for 50 touchdowns, and Moss caught 23 of them, both NFL records at the time. They finished the regular season 16-0, becoming the first team in NFL history to do that. Along the way, they put up scores of 48, 49, 52, 50.
Gang. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, they came through and just put to butt?
56, and beat the reigning champion Colts on the road. Their fourth Super Bowl of the decade looked almost automatic. In the NFC, the Cowboys went 13-3 behind Tony Romo, Terrell Owens, and a loaded roster. Up in Minnesota, rookie running back Adrian Peterson broke the single-game rushing record with 296 yards against the Chargers, announcing himself as an instant superstar. But the postseason belonged to the New York Giants, a scrappy 10-6 wildcard team that got hot at the right time. Eli Manning was inconsistent all year, but the defense was ferocious. Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, and Osi Umenyiora formed a pass-rushing trio that tormented quarterbacks every single week. The Giants won 3 straight road games to reach the Super Bowl, including an NFC championship in Green Bay so cold that Tom Coughlin's face literally froze mid-game. Then Brett Favre threw a crushing interception in overtime. Giants.
Yo, chat, imagine getting hit when you're that cold. Bro, yo. Them, yo.
23, Packers 20. And the script was set.
Wait.
Interception in overtime. Giants 23, Packers 20. And the script was set. The best team of all time versus the team that barely made the playoffs, but had actually almost taken them down in the final week of the regular season. And in Super Bowl 40...
What happens? Nah, John's not gonna win this, bro. Nah, John's gonna win. John's wins. No, John's not gonna win.
The Patriots.
Wait, they have too many rings right now. I think they gotta slow it down, bro. I think they go.
Averaging 37 points per game.
They're gonna get locked up.
Just 14.
They're gonna get locked up, bro.
Battered Brady.
They got locked up, bro.
And then down 14-10 with a minute left, Eli Manning became a legend. On 3rd and 5, he escaped what should have been a sack and threw a prayer. A prayer that David Tyree answered with his helmet. Moments later, Manning hit Plaxico Burress in the corner of the end zone. Giants 7.
What the fuck was this? What is that? The hell is this?
What should have been a sack and threw a prayer. A prayer that David Tyree answered with his helmet. Moments later, Manning hit Plaxico Burress in the corner of the end zone. Giants 17, Patriots 14.
Hold on, bro. Wait.
And the undefeated season was dead. The Giants pulled off the greatest upset in NFL history. The helmet catch became written in history, and Eli, forever polarized, joined his brother by getting a ring of his own.
Yo, paying in Eli like that? Back to back, what the fuck? Yo, that's hard. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's hard. I ain't gonna lie, that's tough. I ain't gonna lie, that's tough. That's tough.
3rd down and 5.
Hold on, I gotta see this catch, bro. Look for the 2.
Pressure from Thomas.
That don't even make sense.
Eli Manning.
Gang, what the fuck is that?
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field.
Oh my God, bro.
Caught by Tyree.
Nigga, you not getting that ball, gang. What the fuck?
Oh my God. This ball's thrown and Tyree just goes up for it like a basketball player. Harrison trying to knock it down.
Yo, that nigga's on his back.
And Eli,
no, that's OD. Look at this nigga. How is he still standing there? How did this nigga get out of that? Bro, how does fuck nigga get out of that, bro?
I thought he was on.
I thought it was over.
Ground and
And then he came out of the pile and just slings it.
Slang that motherfucker. Yo!
That's a great catch by David Tyree. And now with 59 seconds left, the Giants needing a touchdown. The ball is at the New England 24.
Gay, look at this nigga on his back, bro. That's crazy, Gay. That's OD.
The Patriots' quest for perfection collapsed in the final minute.
Huh?
Things would take an even more somber turn in 2008, where the league's biggest star tore his ACL in Week 1, an 11-win team missed the playoffs, and a 37-year-old quarterback who was considered the backup in the offseason nearly won it all. Let's start with the gut punch. Tom Brady, fresh off a 50-touchdown season, tore his ACL 7 minutes into the season opener. Just like that, the Golden Boy was out, and the reins of the juggernaut were thrown into the hands of Matt Castle, a backup who had not started one game since
injuries always hoeing.
Somehow, he led the Patriots to 11 wins, but they still missed the playoffs in a stacked conference. The AFC East came down to tiebreakers, and the...
I know you could never tell for real, but did you foresee... If he didn't tear his ACL that season, are they going to the Super Bowl again? Yup, probably for sure. They said we winning that bitch.
Miami Dolphins, led by Chad Pennington and the suddenly unstoppable Wildcat formation, took the division crown. Peyton Manning quietly added to his legend, winning his 3rd MVP.
Jesus
and this was also
Christ.
the year Brett Favre joined the Jets after his messy Packers divorce, allowing Aaron Rodgers to finally take over in Green Bay. Meanwhile, Big Ben and the Steelers were back at it once again. Their defense, led by Troy Polamalu and Defensive Player of the Year James Harrison, was one of the best of the decade. In the NFC, the Arizona Cardinals woke up. Kurt Warner, resurrected from the backup pile, caught fire.
Are the Cardinals, like, do they got any type of aura game? Well, I don't be really hearing shit like, are they comp, bro?
He and Larry Fitzgerald dragged Arizona and its terrible defense to one of the franchise's best seasons ever. Rookie Matt Ryan led the Falcons to an 11-5 season in the post-Michael Vick era. The Panthers pounded the rock with D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. And the Vikings, still in quarterback hell, watched Adrian Peterson lead the league in rushing yards and carry the team to a 10-6 finish.
Oh my
but
God,
the Super Bowl was between the Steelers and the Cardinals. And it delivered perhaps the greatest ending in NFL history. First came James Harrison's 100-yard pick six, the longest in Super Bowl history. Then Larry Fitzgerald responded with a slant 64 yards to the house with 2:37 left. The Cards might have it in the bag, but Roethlisberger had one more drive. 8 plays, 78 yards, and one impossible throw.
Holy fuck!
One more drive. 8 plays, 78
what
yards.
What is this catch?
And one impossible.
Gay. Is that, bro? What is that, gang?
Possible throw into the corner of the end zone. Santonio Holmes, tiptoeing the sideline with both feet in, pulled off a toe drag catch for the ages. Steelers 27.
I don't know, that's incredible, 23. Bro.
Pittsburgh got their 6th ring.
That's
more
incredible,
than any
bro.
other franchise. Holmes won MVP, but Warner and Fitz fell just short in an epic showdown where nobody knew who'd be standing until the final toe tap.
3v1
but in 2009, the decade was ending with Drew Brees, Brett Favre, and Peyton Manning battling for the throne. The game was more quarterback-driven than ever, and yet the biggest moment of the year came on a special teams play that no one saw coming. It was the year of redemption for New Orleans and the year of revenge for Brett Favre. Let's start in New Orleans. The Saints had had minimal success in their history. A franchise famous for fans in paper bags and losing seasons.
Yo, Jennings. Nah, I need to go get on his ass right now.
But in 2009, that would change. Drew Brees threw for over 4,300 yards and 34 touchdowns. Sean Payton was one of the best play callers in the game, and the Superdome was deafening. The Saints started 13-0 and had the league's top offense.
Damn!
Up in the cold, dark north of Minnesota, Brett Favre came out of retirement once again, this time wearing purple just so he could get back at the Packers. At 40 years old, he was as good as ever, throwing 33 touchdowns and leading the Vikings to a 12-4 record. He went 2-0 versus Green Bay, and it looked like he might get one last ring. Peyton Manning, meanwhile, was still Peyton Manning. He led the Colts to a 14-0 start before they controversially punted the final 2 weeks. Manning won his 4th MVP and had a receiving core of Reggie Wayne, Dallas.
Yo, this nigga 4 MVPs, gang?
Clark, and a breakout Pierre Garçon. They looked like the best team in the league. And the playoffs were electric. Favre torched the Cowboys, then lost a war to the Saints in the NFC Championship. A game where the Saints were basically trying to end his life, and he...
Do that nigga be throwing hella picks, bro? Because I don't know. I watched him during some of these YouTube streamer games. That nigga was throwing some bullshit. Brett Favre. Do that nigga be throwing bullshit, bro? Because god damn. Most? Wait, are you dead ass? Wait, y'all dead ass? He's still the most. That nigga be throwing that bitches.
The NFC Championship.
He don't give a fuck.
A game where the Saints were basically trying to end his life, and he threw a brutal interception with the game tied and seconds left in regulation. And the playoffs were electric. Favre torched the Cowboys, then lost a war to the Saints in the NFC Championship. A game where the Saints were basically trying to end his life, and he threw a brutal interception with the game tied and seconds left in regulation.
Saints cheated how?
New Orleans to win in overtime and advance to the Super Bowl. In the AFC, the Colts walked through Baltimore and the Jets.
Far away, 45 pick this, my lover.
Super Bowl 44.
Love you.
Saints versus Colts. Manning started hot. The Colts went up 10-0. But then came the ambush.
Oh, no.
Sean Payton opened the second half with a surprise onside kick, flipping momentum and shocking the world. From there, Breeze picked the Colts defense apart before the dagger, which came in the form of a 74-yard Tracy Porter pick six. Payton's near-perfect season ended in disappointment, but Breeze lifted his son during the confetti after the Saints ended the decade with their first Super Bowl win in franchise history to help heal the city of New Orleans.
Damn.
Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, I think you'll like this one too.
Damn. Hold on, I got to Janice. Do you pray to Breeze for saving your city? I'm trolling. I'm rage baiting this nigga, bro. What's Bounty Gate?
This NFL team would pay their players if they injured the other team.
Huh?
Back in 2009, Sean Payton told
what? Is this real?
Defensive coach Greg Williams he needed his defense to be elite. So Williams created bounties.
What?
This NFL team would pay their players if they injured the other team. Back in 2009, Sean Payton told defensive coach Greg Williams he needed his defense to be elite. So Williams created bounties. If a Saints player would injure an opponent, they would be given a bonus. Some of these bonuses got so high, they would reach $35,000 if you took out major players like Brett Favre. Over 20 different players on the Saints were involved. Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers, and Marshawn Lynch were all also targets and would speak out against the Saints. The NFL found out after 3 seasons of the Saints doing this, and both Payton and Williams were suspended for a season.
Yo. Nah, Jennings has to pay for his crimes, bro. Nah, gang. Yo. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta blame Jennings for this bullshit. He needs to answer for his crimes, bro. Yo, the Saints are frauds.
Why are the Saints frauds, bro?
They was paying niggas to injure niggas, gang?
Hell yeah.
What you mean, hell yeah? That's some, y'all some frauds.
Bro. Your fucking ring, nigga. We dirty, bro. We got our shit.
Nah, bro. Yo, y'all niggas is slimy, nigga.
Ain't no frauds, nigga. We hit hard, bro. That's not a rule break.
No, that's a nigga. They was putting bounties on niggas' heads.
Okay, we didn't put bounty. We put bounties to our players, bro. That's cool.
Yo.
Say, go hit him, bro.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I might be, unless the lore gets better over the years, I might be a Saints hate watcher, bro. No cap.
Bro, come over, bro. We real.
No. Bro, that's just what the vibe, bro. Nah, bro. What the fuck? Yo, now their quarterback is Spencer Rattler. Is that bad? Is that bad? I ain't gonna lie, that's good lore. I ain't gonna lie, WNFL segment. We gonna do the 2010s next stream. Or we can do this one next stream. No, we do 2010s next stream, and then we do this next stream. I mean the stream after that.
Said I'm on 3+ right now, if I'm being honest. Hope my feelings shoot out like a rocket. Niggas thought they had the swag, but I'm really on it. Look at you just window shopping that new bag I bought.